It seems like if we were going to rank them, though, doesn't Roman feel third? Because the bloodline's not necessarily the hottest thing right now. There's bloodline adjacent stuff like The Rock coming back and Solo Sikoa and all that. But I just think that at this point in time, Roman feels third out of these three.
Well, at this point, it also, if you want to bring up The Rock, doesn't really feel like Dwayne's going to be around for Mania, does it?
I mean, he will be around, yes, but maybe at Mania, but not before Mania because his schedule is busy.
I doubt he's even at Mania.
Yeah.
Because if he was going to be at Mania, again, because last year he would just take his phone, flip it, and just, cut a 20-minute promo that he'd throw up on social media to keep him in front of mind. Unless he shows up tomorrow night with John Boy, I don't think we're seeing Dwayne at WrestleMania at all this year.
No, it feels that way, but there's no way Las Vegas that Rock will not appear. You can't have this story without The Rock saying something. And I think that this comes down to what we've seen as of late, this WWE Vault stuff they're talking about. They're going into the past because of Triple H going to the Hall of Fame, of the disconnect between Rock and Triple H when they were wrestling. Seems like there's now I think that there's an issue now. I think it was an issue last year, and I think an issue now between these two. Before it was this professional, right? Who's going to be on top for the WWE Championship? There's been a professional issue with these guys for years. Man, you can't go through this story and not have The Rock be involved in some way, shape, or form at WrestleMania.
Look, I hope you're right, but
I do think that to your point, if you're a Hunter, you have a right to be pissed at Dwayne, where you have all this long-term storytelling, and then Dwayne's like, oh, I'm available. Oh, I'm not available. Oh, I might be around for this. It makes it hard to tell stories long-term if one of your big centerpieces isn't there. I do think there's a reason. We've barely mentioned The Rock during all these Cena and Cody stuff.
I mean, Rock could also be pissed off that he didn't get his match against Roman last year. That was clearly the plan, and Hunter screwed that up by having Cody win the Royal Rumble. Even though he knew, again, with all the official materials that are out there, he knew Rock Roman was the plan, and he decided to leave that door open, and so he's got no one to blame but himself, if that's the case.
The old man would have not done business this way. This in and out, this, I'll be here, I won't be here, that kind of stuff. As you guys know, when it came to the McMahon era WrestleMania, the part-timers would be there for 6 weeks straight leading into WrestleMania because you gotta, I don't know, promote the event. you can't have the revolving door. Could you imagine Brock with the Undertaker's like, I'll show up when I want to show up. Well, we'll be there at Mania, but if I'll check my schedule, that just wouldn't happen, man.
No, and again, so that's bloodline stuff. So that's why, because I'm assuming, and another reason why Roman feels like he's third on the list of where Heyman's going to be standing. We're all assuming that Roman just is going to be gone for a while after WrestleMania again, right? There's just the contract he was able to negotiate, what he got. He doesn't yet have to be around. I wouldn't be shocked if he's not around. So it doesn't make a ton of sense for Heyman to ally himself with Roman Reigns at the end of the day.
And I know this is going to sound bad. Can I say out loud on an open mic that there's nothing for Roman right now creatively? I mean, ultimately, it's about the Undisputed Championship. Jay more than likely is going to win the title from Gunther. So I'm talking about it from a championship standpoint. Where does Roman go? It's tied up with Cena right now.
Yeah, I mean, again, the only thing I can try to connect dots with to make something make sense for Roman is Cena wins the title. Rock is in his corner. Eventually, Rock turns on Cena to get the championship. Roman's the only one who can stop Rock, and we get Roman Rock eventually down the line. And we eventually get to Roman Rock. That's top of my head. That's the only thing I can try to make even a little bit of sense in terms of going after a championship.
Are we ending both nights of Mania with heels standing on top? Cena Sunday and then Heyman plus whoever on Saturday?
That's very likely. You sure that?
I don't know if Punk wins with Heyman already in his corner, that doesn't make Punk a heel.
You said if it's Rollins, right?
I'm
No, I'm
saying
saying
whoever
I'm
Heyman.
saying if Punk wins, and pins Seth Rollins.
Oh, that's the babyface pop. Yeah.
Yeah, like he's already got Heyman in his corner. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing to do to like turn Rock necessarily. And right now, for the first time ever, Paul Heyman's a babyface.
A little bit.
Yeah, I don't know.
A couple of years ago, when Roman turned on Paul, if you recall, I saw that. I was in Chicago. I saw that. I was in attendance for that. That was that murky thing a couple of years ago where they were beating up on Paul and they were mad at Paul or whatever.
Well, it's sort of what it was Monday with Rollins and then Heyman yelling back at him. Like, were we supposed to feel bad for Heyman? Is that Rollins is a heel?
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, again, you're threatening to beat up Paul Heyman, who is defenseless. Yeah, that's a heel move. That is without a doubt a heel move from Seth Rollins.
All of this circles back, though, to the original question about who's standing next to Paul. And can we just envision Seth Rollins being a top guy in that spot next to Paul? And it's hard to look at. It's hard to see. Only because we've seen Rollins have some great matches. And I think that he's doing some great promo work, guys, actually. I thought that last week was fantastic when he's in the robe. I thought that was good stuff. But, man, to him aligning himself with Paul Heyman, I don't know. It just seems like it's Punk and Heyman. That's what I want to see at the end of the night.
Yeah. I mean, you brought up there's nothing creative really right now. Is there anything creatively for any of these guys on the Raw after Mania?
No, because having all of them gone through Drew McIntyre, I think that was the height of it, right?
Yeah. Like I don't know how many more times I need to see Punk and Rollins. Like we've gotten that twice already this year.
I can make a case if one of them is the heel, you chase Jay till SummerSlam. Jay is world champ. Yes, Seth versus Jay.
Yes. You mean the Jay that has confidence?
Yes. He's not afraid. And he doesn't want the crowd to eat.
God, oh my God. Yeah, he calm the crowd down in Minneapolis. Like, nah, no eat right now. You ever talk to your mama? What do you talk to your mama about?
Gunther seems as confused as everyone else there.
They thought he had a nervous breakdown. He's thinking to himself, this is not on the script. I don't know. Why are you asking about mama? I don't understand mama.
But like, because none of those guys, because again, if we're getting new champs, right? If we're getting new champs out of Mania, which we all presume we are with Jay and Cena, like for Jay, you need the AJ Styles from last year, right? Like, oh, okay, former world champ. He's kind of a threat. Like you just need to feed so Jay can get a title defense. I mean, with Cena, I guess you could probably like throw Orton in there or, start playing whatever greatest hits you want to with John Cena, for somebody who doesn't need a title. But like, I don't think you want to start playing the Cena Punk card quite yet, like in that first feud after WrestleMania. So I'm curious what's next for all three of these guys that are going to be involved in this match after WrestleMania.